Dear students, നമ്മൾ ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് ചാപ്റ്റർ 3 ഇലക്ട്രോൺ സ്റ്റേറ്റ്സ് ആൻഡ് സെമി കണ്ടക്ടേഴ്സ് എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ചാപ്റ്ററാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഈ ചാപ്റ്ററിൽ നമ്മൾ നോക്കുന്നതെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ മെറ്റൽസ് നമുക്കറിയാം. മെറ്റൽസ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഇതിൽ ലാർജ് നമ്പർ ഓഫ് ഇലക്ട്രോൺസ് ഉണ്ട്. അപ്പം മെറ്റൽസിൻ്റെ പ്രോപ്പർട്ടീസ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഹൈ ഇലക്ട്രിക്കൽ ആൻഡ് തെർമൽ കണ്ടക്ടിവിറ്റി കാണിക്കുന്ന സബ്സ്റ്റൻസ് ആണ് മെറ്റൽസ്. അപ്പം മെറ്റൽസിൽ ലാർജ് നമ്പർ ഓഫ് ഫ്രീ ഇലക്ട്രോൺസും അവൈലബിൾ ആണ്. അപ്പം സൂൺ ആഫ്റ്റർ ദ ഡിസ്കവറി ഓഫ് ഇലക്ട്രോൺസ്, Drude and Lorentz attempted to explain the properties of metals such as high electrical and thermal conductivity based on the classical free electron model. So they put forward, Drude and Lorentz put forward a theory to explain the high electrical and thermal conductivity of metals, and that theory is known as the classical free electron model. And the basic assumptions in this is, the first one is a metal crystal consists of positive metal ions whose valence electrons are free to move between the ions as if they constitute an electron gas. So such a combination of electrons, such a group of electrons are known as electron gas. So this metal consists of positive metal ions, and the valence electrons are free to move between the ions just as a gas moves. So these electrons are termed as free electron gas. The second concept is crystal is held together by the electrostatic force of attraction between positive charged ion and the negatively charged electron gas. അപ്പോൾ സെക്കൻഡ് കോൺസെപ്റ്റ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഇതിൽ ക്രിസ്റ്റൽസിനെ ഹെൽഡ് ടുഗദർ ചെയ്യുന്ന ഫോഴ്സ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ഇലക്ട്രോസ്റ്റാറ്റിക് ഫോഴ്സ് ഓഫ് അട്രാക്ഷൻ ബിറ്റ്വീൻ ദ പോസിറ്റീവ് ചാർജ്ഡ് അയോൺസ് ആൻഡ് ദ നെഗറ്റീവ്ലി ചാർജ്ഡ് ഇലക്ട്രോൺ ഗ്യാസ് ആണ്. Then the third concept is the mutual repulsion between the electrons is ignored, and the fourth one is the potential field due to positive ion is completely uniform, so that electrons can move from place to place in the crystal without any change in their energy. So in order to describe the motion of the electrons through the pool of these positive ions, we assume that the potential field due to these positive ions are uniform elsewhere, so that this electron can move freely from place to place through the crystal without any change in their energy. And the fifth assumption is that electrons collide occasionally with the atoms, and at any given temperature their velocity could be determined according to Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution law. And these electrons, free electrons, they collide with the atoms, and at any given temperature the velocity would be determined according to the Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution law. That is the distribution law followed by this free electrons gas was Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution law according to classical free electron model. So based on the classical free electron model, they can explain very well the electrical conductivity of metals and thermal conductivity of metals and thermionic emission, and the fourth one is thermoelectric effect. But they failed to explain the properties such as that are determined by the internal structure. Also why some solids are conductors and some solids are insulators, and heat capacity of this free electron gas. They failed to explain this heat capacity, and the magnetic susceptibility of the conduction electrons also cannot be explained by the classical free electron model. So later Sommerfeld introduced a modified form of the theory, and which is known as the classical free electron theory. And in this theory all the assumptions of the quantum free electron theory are the same as classical free electron theory, except that electrons follow the Fermi-Dirac statistics. So in the earlier case we assumed that these electrons follows Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution, but actually electrons are fermions, so they should follow the Fermi-Dirac statistics. So a modification is made in the classical free electron theory, in which the modification is that they follow the Fermi-Dirac statistics. And another condition which imposed in this quantum quantum free electron theory is that due to the attraction of positive ion core, electrons cannot move or electron cannot leave the surface but free to move in solids. So these free electrons, although they are free, they are not able to move outside this metal, but they are free to move within the solid. And Sommerfeld replaced a one-dimensional solid by a one-dimensional potential box to determine the energy states, possible energy states. In order to determine the possible energy states, Sommerfeld found out replaced a one-dimensional solid by a one-dimensional potential box and obtained the expression for the energy states that can be occupied by the free electron. Now we can discuss the energy levels in a one-dimensional potential box, and that is the one-dimensional energy levels, and from this we will obtain an expression for the one-dimensional energy for the one-dimensional solid, and later we can expand or generalize this expression to a three-dimensional solid. So in order to find out the energy levels in one-dimensional solid, consider a free electron gas in one dimension. An electron of mass m is confined to a length L. This electron is confined in this length L. So this by an infinite barrier. The barriers are infinite, and the one-dimensional Schrodinger equation for this potential box is d square psi by dx square plus 2m by h cross square into E minus b of psi is equal to 0. Since potential energy is constant with the time, we are taking the time independent equation of Schrodinger. And inside this potential box, the potential is 0, and we have to find out the solution of psi of x inside this solid where v is equal to 0, where v is equal to 0. Therefore, electron have dual nature. It can be considered as a wave. Then 2me is equal to h cross square k square, or 2me by k this h cross square will be equal to k square. That is, since electrons have a dual nature, it can be assumed to be having associated with a wavelength. So the expression becomes the expression for energy is nothing but it is equal to p square by 2m. So p square by 2m becomes p is equal to, and in this case of a wave, it is equal to h cross k divided by 2m, h cross k the whole square, where p is equal to h cross k. So that is h cross is h by 2 pi into 2 pi by lambda. So from this expression we will get the value of this as 2me by h cross square is equal to k square. That is 2me by h cross square is equal to k square, where E is the energy of the electron in the orbital. Therefore, this equation, the Schrodinger equation becomes d square by d square psi by dx square plus this becomes 2m by h cross square into E minus b. Since E minus b is equal to E, so this becomes, the second term becomes 2m by h cross square into E only, and that can be replaced with a k square psi is equal to 0. So solution of this equation is given by the solution of this equation is the standard equation a sin psi is equal to a sin kx plus b cos kx, and the boundary conditions, from the boundary condition we will get the value of a and b. So the boundary conditions are at x is equal to 0, psi is equal to 0, and at x equal to L also psi is equal to 0. Substituting in this equation, that is put x is equal to 0 means psi is equal to 0, that is 0 is equal to a into sin kx becomes 0, that is 0 plus b, so b is equal to 0. And from the second condition we will get when x is equal to L also psi is equal to 0, so 0 is equal to a sin kl, that becomes the first term. Then b cos kx is equal to b cos kl, x for instead of x we have L. So at the boundary this term is equal to 0, so sin kl is equal to 0. So the value of KL is equal to n pi, or K is equal to n pi by L. So K is equal to n pi by L. That is another important result which satisfies this boundary condition. So the wave function is, the final wave function becomes a sin n pi x by L. So for this to happen, the condition is that we have assumed that k into x, that is for x is equal to L, k into L is equal to 0. K into L is equal to 0 when only k into L is equal to cos of k into L is equal to cos k into L is equal to 0 only when KL is equal to n pi. So KL is equal to n pi is the condition here. Then for k is equal to n pi by L. So based on this, we will get the expression for L as, since k is equal to 2 pi by lambda and that is also equal to n pi by L. So from this equation we will get L is equal to n lambda by 2. So the total length will be these integral multiples of the lambda by 2. So the total wave function satisfying the given boundary condition psi is equal to a sin n pi x by L. By normalization we get integral 0 to L psi star dx is equal to that is equal to 1. That is integral 0 to L a sin n pi x by L. Then again a sin n pi x by L dx is equal to 1.